in the US, we're seeing cases in the tens of thousands a day. There's some concern about a pickup in cases in states that maybe didn't see as many cases originally. You don't see the overall number of cases rising too quickly because some of the more populous states have, such as New York, have seen some improvement. But there's certainly still significant spread in the US, even as the country reopens. Data surprises in the US have been quite positive. Retail activity, for example, up quite a bit. So we do anticipate a strong third quarter in particular, but June data will also be good in the US. I think in the case of China, we've been talking about double-digit new cases a day. So at least at this stage, certainly something to watch, but not quite as worrisome in terms of the virus spread. And China has already made its way back roughly to the same level of activity as a year ago. If we take the May data altogether, it looks like overall activity was pretty similar to the levels of a year ago.
Andrew, the story about the Tyson chicken plant being impacted in the U.S. and then China taking measures to cut off imports coming from that Tyson plant is kind of a reminder of how vulnerable the supply chains remain. I mean, do you look at this more as a one-off story, or could it be more of a cautionary tale of what is still a risk out there?
I think it's an example of a broader issue, which is as countries start to get a handle on their domestic situation, so let's take China, obviously been a lot of focus on controlling the virus. As countries get a handle on that, they're going to want to be extremely cautious about re-importing the virus and jeopardizing all the progress that they've made. So I think even as domestic lockdowns lift, and you mentioned earlier our effective lockdown index, where we try to measure the intensity of the lockdown and correlate that with economic activity, we're seeing those lockdowns lift in a lot of countries, but very, very few countries have made any moves to ease international travel restrictions because they are so concerned about re-importing infections. And now, in some cases, even some concerns about re-importing the virus via goods shipments. So I think that what it illustrates is that the reopening internationally and the communication and the travel between countries is going to lag quite a bit the improvement in some of the domestic economies.